everybody to cut to the chase. This is a sports music podcast where we break down sports and music. First things first, I want to thank Mitchell and Ness for providing the space for us tonight. We're going to watch the game, we're going to talk some sports, we're going to talk culture, we're going to have a good time. I'm your host, Kay. This is my co-host, Kay.
All facts.
This is my co-host, Chris. Sports music is the culture, right? And what we do is we give our take on it. So this conversation started in the barbershop, and that's why the logo looks the way it looks. We simply just jump into the topic. So with that being said, we're going to jump right into it. The first quarter, we're here for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Philadelphia Eagles.
All facts.
You know, let's make some noise for the Eagles.
We sure we making noise for the Eagles? Are we sure we gonna make noise for the
We at
Eagles?
home, so we gotta show love.
You see what it's
That
going.
being said, we have a clash of the Titans tonight. Who we taking?
All right, well, I jump right into it. I'm gonna take Tampa Bay. I think it's gonna be a low-scoring game. Tom Brady got the little minor hand injury, so they're gonna run the ball a lot. I think Tampa Bay gonna win the game, probably 24-13, low-scoring game. Defense will win it.
Okay. Who you got?
I'm gonna take the Birds. We in the city, babe.
Okay,
I'm gonna take the Birds, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take the Birds because I just want to take the spread. I ain't even gonna lie, I gotta get the 6 points though with the Birds.
He ain't gonna win no money tonight, y'all. He gonna
It's
lose.
hard to go against Tom Brady, so it's just like, you know what I mean?
You gonna lose both ways around tonight. You gonna lose your money and you gonna lose the game. So don't do
Man,
that.
like, I ain't gonna lie, I'm feeling the Eagles and the city will be lit, man. Like, you know what I mean? We gonna ride home playing the Meek intro too.
I like
That's what we
that.
gonna do.
We
That's what we gonna do after
like
the
that.
Eagles
All
get
day.
this win.
Tom just came off a 400-yard.
400 yards, 5
Full
touchdowns.
savage.
Yeah.
Yeah. 400 yards, 5
Same guy.
touchdowns. He's still the same. He's still the GOAT. Yeah.
All right, with that being said, we just finished week 5. It's a lot of great football, a lot of great teams. Who you have coming out of the AFC right now?
I got the Chiefs. I'm sticking with Andy Reid.
They
I'm
just
keeping
lost.
it
They
Philly. But
been-
that's the thing.
they
Everybody
been-
hot
they
on
been looking
Buffalo.
shaky.
Everybody hot on Baltimore because they rolling right now, but it don't really matter at the beginning of the season. The Chiefs, all they got to do is make the playoffs. They make the playoffs, they experience. They've been there. Then they got the players, then they're going to be healthy.
I just
You know what I'm
subscribed to that. I expected more from them at the beginning of the season.
I mean, I did too. We all did.
It's a looking a little. I like Buffalo personally.
Yeah.
Buffalo rolled from last year to this year. Who you got?
I'm taking the Ravens. After Lamar Jackson got over his
Oh.
Kansas City hump, and we see how he's doing this year with carrying the team on his back. They shouldn't be in these games as close as they are with some of the teams that they're playing. They should be putting these teams away earlier. There's no way the coach should have had them down like that, and they should have had to come. But it's no reason why he should be down. That's the only hesitation I got with the team because they should be blowing these teams out. But getting over that Chiefs hump, I think is big for Lamar. And then going into the playoffs, I think that's what they need to get over that hump. And I think it's going to be the Ravens in the AFC.
I like Lamar, though. I don't really like the Ravens, though. I mean, they injured. They
Yeah.
banged up.
They banged
Yeah,
up. They on their
got-
8th string running back.
Yeah, exactly. So it's like, and I see Bateman making a difference when he come back, but
He a rookie.
the youngin, like, I ain't gonna lie, Hollywood, isn't it? Matter of fact, Brown, like them drops he had a couple weeks ago. Like,
That ain't
was
Hollywood.
an embarrassment to the league. So he a hell of a player, but I ain't gonna lie, I don't think they can count on him, and I think they let Lamar down. Because they ain't really giving him nobody.
I feel like
Right.
they're working Lamar a little too much.
Yeah.
They need he doesn't have a legit number one wide receiver.
He
don't
legit
have a
gonna have
legit
that
number
Andrew
one.
Luck situation if he don't get it together because
Right.
they working him too much.
So who we got coming out the NFC?
I'm gonna take Tampa Bay. Go back to their second street.
Over
I think
Arizona?
Tampa Bay
That's who
and the
I'm-
Ravens. I don't
that's who
think
I'm going.
Arizona can beat them in the playoffs because I don't think
Okay.
that the team has enough experience. Kyler Murray, he's phenomenal, but I don't think in the playoffs that pressure is going to be. He's going to be able to get over that Tom Brady aura, the Tom Brady
I
hump.
mean, nobody has experience if you comparing it to Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, they got the veterans now. Last year, when you seen them, they had all of the young guns out there doing their thing. But now when you got Hopkins, you got J.J. Watt, and you got players like Simmons kind of like finding his own.
What have those
are
veterans
the
won,
players-
though?
What do they want? I mean, at the end of the day, everybody ain't gonna win a championship, bro. The Chiefs, the Patriots and Tom, no disrespect to Tom, he's a great player, but they happen to be in the AFC East for decades. You know what I'm saying? Running through it, and the other teams didn't have those type of situations. So I get it, and Tom did a phenomenal thing winning last year, but I think what Arizona has as far as a roster, I think that's the best roster in football right now. Period. And I think, Tampa got the names, but I think Arizona got the best roster in football. I think J.J. Watt is putting them over the hump. on top of Simmons actually getting himself together at that linebacker spot. So I feel him. I really like him. And that's the craziest thing is I'm talking about their defense because their defense got playmakers.
Right.
That's not the best part of the team. Everybody know about the offense, but
Right.
now when you got teams where the defense start catching up, they something to watch out for.
Okay. All right. I can subscribe to that.
I think the Rams are still a better team in that division over the Cardinals. So I think they still got to get past.
Hold
them.
up, what experience Matt Stafford got?
It
You
doesn't-
just hold up. You just said the
But it
experience
doesn't-
is what you
but it
giving our
doesn't-
joint.
Because I'd rather
He's ahead
have
of him.
Matthew Stafford in a big game than Kyler, because he's at least taking the terrible. He's taking
Hold
the
up.
terrible
Nah,
Lions
bruh.
team to the
You
playoffs
lost me,
twice.
Kenny. You lost me, Kenny.
Twice. Think
You
about it.
lost
That's
me,
the
Kenny.
Lions. They're the Cleveland
No,
Cavaliers
no.
of the NFL.
Megatron
and
took
he's,
them over to the playoffs.
who throws
bruh.
Megatron the ball?
Megatron took
Who
them
throws
to the
Megatron the
playoffs.
ball?
I mean, since
He broke the record
since
when
Megatron
Matt
ain't been there,
Stafford
where
was
they
the
at?
quarterback, right?
Since Megatron
He broke
ain't
the
been
wide
there, where
receiver
they at?
record for receiving
Since
yards in the
Megatron
season
ain't been
when
there, where they
Stafford
been
was
at?
the quarterback.
I think.
Am I right?
Go ahead. I want to give you a chance to respond.
I ain't feeling the Rams. That's a hard. I mean, I like the Rams.
And
but
then
that's the
Aaron,
hardest
they
division in
have,
football.
if you go, they have every level. So they got Ram on the outside, and then they got Aaron Donald on the inside. So they have all three levels, and then they're good at linebacker too. So they have all three levels covered, and they have might have the best player at each position on the first and the back end. So I'm just
What's
saying.
the most valuable position in football? Quarterback. Exactly. Stafford, good player. I ain't never seen Stafford have a great playoff game.
I haven't seen Kyler Murray make the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, he's been in the league for 2 years, but at the end of the day, special was special. Some people just special. Mahomes, special. Allen, special. Jackson, special. Murray, they special. When it comes down to it and that game get real,
I'm not
you gotta
giving
get
him
the special
special
players
till
to make
he gets
plays.
into the playoffs
Hopkins
first.
is special.
I need-
Certain dudes that ain't going, like Cooper Kupp, he ain't really going to do it the way Hopkins do it in the fourth in the playoffs.
But I need him to
He
get to
gonna
the playoffs, bro. He gotta
gonna
get
get
his
to
team
it.
to the playoffs first.
So let's
Once he
young
gets his
team.
team to the playoffs and wins a playoff game, then you can start putting him into discussion with them other guys. But he hasn't done that.
he
All
got-
those other guys
got the
have won
best around
playoff
him, though.
games and have been to the playoffs multiple years. You comparing them to those
Who?
guys. Lamar Jackson, playoff game, multiple years, wins.
I just talking about
Josh,
the Rams.
okay.
Go ahead.
I'm just saying that quarterback, you can't compare him to those other teams and those other
can't
guys.
you?
But I feel
Because they've done it longer.
Well, let's save that.
You
Let's
just
save
said
that. for
they've
another
done it
quarter.
longer.
Let's save
Lamar
another quarter.
all right,
Another
we
quarter,
just go-
another
Lamar,
quarter.
he's done it longer.
Another quarter. Let's wrap it up. So you got the Kansas City Chiefs
All facts.
and the
Arizona.
Arizona Cardinals. You have the
Tampa Bay and Baltimore.
and Baltimore. I can live with that. We're gonna leave that for now. We'll come back to that.
We'll see. We'll see.
Because I
We'll
feel like
see.
we can run with this a little bit further. So with that being said, we're gonna move right along to the second quarter. The second quarter, we're gonna switch topics a little bit. We're gonna go to music and culture. We want to talk about the importance of athletes and entertainers investing in their craft outside of their craft. So for that, we have a special guest tonight. We have the legend. I mean, there's so many things I can say about this guy. I feel like, you know, his name speaks for itself. His aura speaks for itself. So we want to welcome Freeway to the show tonight and bring the OG down so we can get it going for the second quarter. Appreciate the OG stopping through today and spending some time with some diamonds with us. You know, I see you got the diamond here too. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's
shining.
my company. You
It's
know,
investment, okay?
It's a partnership with
Okay.
my jeweler Cackle Hart. It's the Philadelphia Beard Diamond.
Okay. Shout out to Cat.
This the
Cat
first
to the
prototype right here. You know.
Okay.
And, you know, we even got rocks in the beards and mustache.
Talk about it.
Rock top fashion.
Talk about it. So, with that being said, you can speak to this more than anything. How important is it for athletes and entertainers to invest in themselves outside of their craft?
I mean, it's very important. If you want longevity, you have to do other than what you're doing. You know,
Right.
music was just the, launch pad for me to take off into so many other things. You know, I have Freedom Thinkers Academy. It's a company that I founded with a foundation. It's music, health, it's education, and it's culture.
Wow.
On the educational side, we have STEM workforce certification programs. You could go to our website, sign up for a program, pass the program, get a workforce certification, and go straight into the workforce. So there's so many youngins and people that's just in the streets and they can't figure it out. So
Yeah.
they just go to what they know, and that's selling drugs, violence,
Yeah.
and all that type of
Yeah.
stuff. What we're doing at Freedom Thinkers Academy is we're providing them with another option.
Wow.
You know, we're providing them with another opportunity. So if you have a choice, rather put your life on the line, be out in the streets, gotta watch your back, gotta worry about people trying to do stuff to your family, or you go to the website, you sign up for this course, you bust your ass on this course, and you pass the certification, and you can start making a legitimate legal income for yourself and for your family.
Wow, no, that's major. And
You know,
I'm gonna
that's-
get you to give me that website again. What's the website
It's
again?
www.freedomthinkers.academy. You know,
Check it out. And that's important for so many reasons, because it was brothers like you that saved brothers like me. I had to have somebody that looked like you in order for it to get through.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's important because it's a lot
Same
of
with me,
talent,
bro.
It's a lot of diamonds in out here, and
sure.
we gotta take the part. So, fellas, you do a lot in the community. Can you talk about the importance of investing outside of the community, and talk about some of your programs that you got going on?
Well, I got the Thrive program. That's what we do at the shop. On Saturdays, we teach the kids basically the stock market and the basics of investing, and teach them how to create budgets and have savings and things like that. Because those are things that I didn't get when I was young. But to keep it 100, we all just got hit with the pandemic, right? The reason I was able to survive with my business on the barbershop, I was able to survive in my business through the pandemic. I was trading. I was in the house doing nothing. I was trading. That's what I was doing. That's how I was able to keep my doors open and keep the people that work with me and the people that work for me to have incomes and all that type of stuff past this, because we could have closed our doors. So I explain these stories to the kids, and I explain how you have to basically get your income and turn it into actually money that's working for you. And when you learn that at 16, you get to 25, it's a wrap.
Yeah.
Because now, I'm a little older. I know it now, but if I'd have known it when I was younger,
Right.
I'd have been a beast.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? So the Thrive program, you can involve yourself with that, at Classics Hub on Instagram. Hit us in a DM or whatever like that, and we'll go ahead and enroll you.
Is it an age
You
group
come down Saturdays.
requirement?
Usually, I take them from 12 to 18.
Understood.
And I usually try to get the ones that the ones that's already in the community doing stuff. You already in the mix, and I try to pull them out the corners, because the corner boys, they the best hustlers.
Right.
So once you legalize your joint playing the stock market,
Right.
it can't really touch you the same way. So you know what I mean? That's what we doing.
Solid. Honorable. Chris, chime in. What you think?
I took it from a different perspective. I look at it, I think the athletes a couple years back, remember when they had the show Broke on ESPN when Bart Scott, and they had a bunch of different athletes saying how they lost their money, how they paying everybody phone bills and they paying their mortgages, and they were looked at like the bank when they actually had to go to work and make this money. Just because they getting lumps and stacks of money, it's a job still to them. So I think a lot of players started taking heed to that and picked up on it, noticing that people were going broke after they got out the league. So I think a lot of players said, when I go into the league, I'm gonna make sure that I invest. When I come in, my first checks, I'm gonna try to not to spend any NBA money or NFL money. I'm gonna live off my endorsements and what other deals can I get outside of here, so I don't have to live off that. So I have money when I retire at 35, because
kids
at
need to know
35,
more.
you
They
still
need
got
to know
60
more.
years left to live, and you still want to live that same lifestyle, but you can't because you're not getting $300,000 a game that you were getting 10 years ago. So I think athletes started taking investing and you spending their money more wisely from watching past players mistakes and stuff like that. So that's what I think a lot of athletes.
It's being an athlete, being an entertainer, it's definitely the gift and the curse, because everybody wants to lean on you. Everybody think you're making billions of dollars, and the most popular misconception is that it's not a job. People, I can't take my friends to work with me, and this and that, but it's actually a job. Being able to stay relevant for 20 plus years is a full-time job. You know what I'm saying? That's why it's very important to go into other things too, because the average lifespan of a rapper is 5 years.
Right.
I surpassed that.
3 or 4 times.
quadruple, like I was telling y'all, I partnered with Cat. We had Philadelphia Beard Diamond Company, and the reason why I wanted to partner with her because she's a phenomenal jeweler and she's a phenomenal businesswoman.
Okay.
It made sense. And
She dripping.
she's dripping.
Shout out to Cat, man.
Her shop is located in Jewelers Row, on 8th Street, where the legendary Robbins 8th and Walnut was at, where the first person that had the beard in his diamond came from, where I got the concept from. So we just keeping it alive and we doing our thing. Besides that, I have a beard cream product. Best Bear Cream. You can go to Best Bear Cream on Instagram. You could go to www.bestbearcream.com.
Okay.
Something that I'm passionate about, my beer.
Yeah.
So why not be the first person with a beer cream? You got to find out what you're passionate about, what drives you, and make a career out of it. You know.
That's golden. And in words, I couldn't say them any better. And coming from Free, we definitely take that and we cherish that, because experience is everything. And to have 20 years in anything is a blessing and a testament to his relationship, his character, to who he is as a person. So shout out to Free. Appreciate you again, OG, for stopping through. Much love, much respect. We're gonna do a lot of big things coming up pretty soon.
Sir, yes, sir.
Freedom Thinkers Academy.
Yes, sir.
Give everything real quick. Plug it again, OG.
Freedom Thinkers Academy. The website is www.freedomthinkers.academy.
Nice. So with that being said, we're gonna wrap it up real quick. We'll take y'all to halftime, and we'll double back then. Peace. We started out the show doing 2 quarters. We break this down into 4 quarters. We talk about sports and music and culture. So we did the first 2 quarters before the game start. We're gonna do the last 2 quarters now. We have a special musical guest that's gonna give us a little something, and then we're gonna file out and have a good time and enjoy the rest of the evening. So with that being said, I'm gonna jump into the 3rd quarter of Cut to the Chase, and we got a topic of what's going on right now. In a lot of sports, we have the issue of athletes not wanting to take the vaccine. It's a hot topic. It's a hot topic not only in sports, but it's a hot topic in the workforce. It's a hot topic everywhere. But everyone has a different opinion and a different view. Okay, talk to me a little bit how you feel about athletes not taking the vaccine.
I think it's like I think it's a personal choice. So you really can't force nobody to do what you believe in. You should let them basically have their freedom. But when you have the workplace and then you have things like the NBA, who's enforcing it, they don't have no choice to enforce it because of New York. So, but right now, it seemed kind of crazy to me that Kyrie, he's standing out to everybody, because Kyrie, to me, is one of the best dudes that's out here. Because Kyrie does a lot. You know what I'm saying?
Point guards right now.
He's one of the best dudes that's out here because he kind of speaks his mind, and he holds value to the things that other people kind of really don't care for, because he gives back a lot and does all those things. So they kind of making him kind of be the scapegoat for everything.
Okay.
But for right now, when you look at it, in New York, the police, they don't mandate police being vaccinated. You got 40-something cops that died from COVID.
Okay.
But then people like Kyrie's looking at it like, hold up, I can't get a personal choice to basically protect me and my family to do what we feel is right. But you guys are picking and choosing who needs to be able to get forced to get the vaccine.
Okay.
So it's also coming down to choice. It's just the higher ups are choosing who to discipline and who to actually say, you got to get the vaccine. And that's what I think is wrong. So give people a personal choice. So that's where I'm at with it. And I'm also, to be honest, I'm vaccinated because I'm a stage 4 cancer survivor. I was doing chemo at this. Thank you. Appreciate that, brother. I appreciate that, everybody. But at the time, I'm doing chemotherapy, so it's to me, that's the worst thing kind of in the world. Literally to go through.
Understood.
And when you're doing, I'm talking about physically, worst thing you can go through. So when they came in with the vaccine, I'm like, but y'all hit me up with this. At the end of the day, this not that.
Right.
So I'm like, all right, let's go ahead and rock with it, because I got to take my precautions. But I ain't judging nobody that didn't do it.
Right.
It is what it is. So that's how I feel about the athletes. Let them decide.
Understood. Chris, what you have to say?
It's a double-edged sword with me. So I feel like we'll use Kyrie because he's the hot topic in sports. So I feel like Kyrie, as a team, it's a team sport. He wants to be there for his brothers in the locker room as a team. So on one breath, you want to say, if you're really there for your team, everybody else is on the team is vaccinated. I'm gonna go be with my team and I'm gonna get vaccinated. But on the other breath, it's a personal choice. I don't feel comfortable. I don't know enough research. I don't have enough data on it. So it's a slippery slope with Kyrie and the vaccination. But I feel like if you're going to be on a team and this is a team sport and y'all competing for one thing and that's a championship, then he should know going into the season, I'm gonna have to get this vaccine.
All right, I'm gonna say this about that. We talking about the wrong team, because at the end of the day, that's basketball. It's a sport. That's his team. Main man got a family. That's his real team. That's the team he
Agreed.
really living for.
I agree.
So if I'm gonna make my choices to be here and protect my family, he protecting and taking care of his hood. He protecting his cousins, his self. He taking care of his mom. He taking care of all these people. So if something go wrong for him, that team can't answer to that.
But you can't.
You know
But he
what I'm saying?
can't. But I agree with you. But you can't double. He's double dipping it. He either got to be all in and say, all right, I'm gonna be not take the vaccine and give up basketball, or play basketball, take the vaccine and play basketball, because he still obviously wants his check. He still wants to get paid, because
I
he
don't think
said,
so.
no, you gotta remember, because if
I
you
don't
watch
think-
the
I don't
interview,
think
if you watch the
Bobby checked
23-minute
about it.
interview last night, he said, of course I don't want to leave this money on the table. So he's obviously aware of the money and doesn't want to give it up, but he's also aware of the vaccine. So he's kind of playing both sides of it. So I'm kind of.
But when people say I don't want to leave this on the table, like for example, somebody give me a bad offer that I don't want to take. Yeah, I don't want to leave the money on the table, but that don't mean that I'm not all the way in. No, I was all the way in on what I was doing. You know what I'm saying? I was all the way in on the team, but because I don't want to go ahead and take this vaccine that you're forcing me, to me, I just think it's wrong. And they making him a scapegoat, making it like he letting everybody down. But what if something go wrong? What if he don't trust him and stuff go left? Like I said, this coming from somebody that is vaccinated. I just believe in people's rights to choose.
Absolutely.
Understood. So we clapping up with that, and I can subscribe to that. I see it from both sides. I honestly think that you have to have a level of empathy and a level of, it's not even about yourself. A lot of times, it has to be a balance of selfishness
Yeah.
and selflessness. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
all day.
And
All day.
you got to consider others as well as yourself. And I think once you really dig down and deep and do what's best for yourself and your surroundings and the people around you, you'll make the right choice. But I don't think that one should be judged for one decision and one should be praised for the other decision. Like, everyone is.
Yeah, everybody.
Now,
like, maybe
Kyrie
people
getting
choose
chewed
a
out
side.
for
I
it.
don't think we shouldn't get put up in the
Yeah,
box.
no,
We shouldn't get
Kyrie getting chewed out by the media, no, that's wrong, because it's a personal decision. You don't want to put something in your body, you shouldn't be forced to do that for a job, money, anything. You know what I mean? Now that's wrong. Him getting ostracized by everybody in the media for that. So I do disagree with that, but if he wants to play ball and claims he's there for Kevin Durant and Harden, he might got to do what he got to do. Because think about it. LeBron said he didn't want to get the vaccine too. He had to do more research. And so it's a lot of people that was in the same boat as Kyrie, but he's just taking a stance that I'm not going to get it. And I'm standing on what I'm standing on.
And he's been an educated bull from everything else that he's done. So it's like, why don't I think he actually did do his research and all that? I do think he did. And I don't think he's comfortable with it. So until he's comfortable with it, let him do his thing. Gotta take a little time from the team.
Just the same
He gotta
earth
do what he
flat
gotta
board
do.
though, but we just going to digress.
But this is stir the pot, and I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna leave it alone. Colin Kaepernick wasn't embraced when he started to take his stand.
At all.
No one thought that there was a lot. Well, it was mixed feelings.
Yeah.
He risked his career and went on to do the things that he did. Now, even if you didn't agree with it, we saw that he was actually kneeling for a good reason and a good
Yeah.
purpose
Yeah.
with the event that happened recently.
And the impact that he actually created, bringing him up, I think like it's gonna be valued way more down the line.
Then
Like when we think of our greats and our great men, I think his name is gonna come up 40 years from now. Because I said the crazy thing in my shop, I said one day, I said, we don't praise the people that's actually here with us now enough. Like, and somebody was like, come on, bro, Bo don't deserve all that. Like, he ain't do nothing that crazy. And I'm like, he just kneeled. And I'm like, the impact of what he did, it's not the action, it's the impact of it. So when you make that type of impact and you lead those type of people, that many people to do the right thing and bring awareness to what was going on, you know what I'm saying? Like, literally, you legendary. That's better than any Tom Brady throw or Mahomes throw, this thing that he did with his career.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I think that's a good segue into the fourth quarter. You talked about the impact, making an impact on not just you, yourself, but the surroundings, your community.
Yeah.
We have a huge violence issue in Philadelphia right now. Like it's pretty concerning.
Yeah.
But myself being a real entrepreneur, I always see a problem and I see a solution.
Okay.
So with that, I feel like we're at a state where we have a problem and we need to come together for solutions. Why do you think that we have the issue that we have in the community with the violence? And what are some of the solutions you think that we can start putting in place to make this?
Social media and clout.
So social media is causing the violence.
Social media, not social media itself, the actual platform, Facebook, Instagram, but the clout, the attention from social media. So if you have the best pair of sneakers on in school and he has the worst pair of sneakers on in school, now all the kids are online teasing that kid. It's the cyberbullying, it's jealousy. So now it's the gaining the clout. So okay, how does that kid that has the bummy sneakers get clout now? I'm gonna go do something. I'm gonna go beat up. I'm gonna go get a gun. I'm gonna go show that I'm tough, or you're not gonna bully me. So it's a trickle down effect. It's a cycle of ego, pride, and I think that's the main cause of it. The social media and the kids just chasing the fame and attention and wanting to be one-hit wonders. I want 1 million views. I want 10,000 followers. How can I do that? What's gonna pop the most to make me get looked at or get seen? So I think, right. I just think.
I think the issue is the balance. I think there's no balance pretty much right now in the world because the internet came out of nowhere and took everything by storm. So when you think of things, you think about how it was back like 20 years ago. You didn't have as much negativity as it is now. Like it was like a 60-40. Now it's like 90-10. Right. So I'm talking about legit. You talking about a young man walking outside his house. This is what he's seen. A young man, because I'm in the middle of South Philly every day. My barber shop is right at Broad and Snyder's, the classic. So literally, this kid that's in that area is walking outside. You're dealing with the drugs and all of that. That's what we've been dealing with from the 80s. On top of that, now he's dealing with social media and all that negativity, which to me, social media is a great thing. But people don't balance it. They just throw in so much negativity. Then you turn the news on. It's 90-10. Right. So why would these kids make the smarter decision? Like the kids that's actually making the right decision, that's kind of like, he's the one that's standing out now. Right. It's not like the bad dude or whatever making a choice and we looking at him like, he the bad apple. Right. But it's like the way we see it is all of them are so negative, but in all actuality, it's like, think about this. You can get the worst neighborhood in any hood. You got probably 4 dudes on that block that's bad. That might be trapping, that might be or whatever, shooting the block up, doing all this. It's 50 houses on the block. But to the world, that basic block that's the worst block. We can't drive down this block. Oh, I ain't never coming there. Like Chicago. So, Philadelphia, it's the same thing. It's like so many great people in these cities. It's so many people that's not getting no light shined on them because all they doing is shining the negativity.
Are spoiling the bunch.
And so when you turn on a rap song, it's like, come on, like,
it's layered.
It's layered. Last point, it just don't really have nothing to do with the gun violence, but think about it, like, because I can point it out. It's the same thing, like with the music, like with the young ladies. If everybody thought 20 years ago, who was popping? Who was leading the young women? It was Faith, Mary J. Blige, Destiny's Child just came out. Aaliyah, right? That's who was selling all the records. Go Google who's selling all the records right now. Everybody twerking and Cardi B and it's no diss to them, but people are choosing to put them in the forefront. So now you get an ad for a bottle girl, boom, 18, 19, 20, 21, 23, all the little girls is like, that's what I want to do because that's what we see. But in all actuality, that's not really what's going on in the world. But it's like the perception of the internet, the perception of the news, the perception of everything, the music that we see is so negative. Right. So we just got to do a better job. And I think the solution will be is shining light on the positivity. Right. Start calling Colin Kaepernick our kings. Like, this is a king right here that's living. Right. Or start calling and respecting Jay-Z's moves and 50 Cent's moves when you watching these dudes do great things instead of hating. So why would we want to walk in here and think like, okay, the world is so great. when everybody is so negative about our leaders and everything like that. So why would the kids want to kind of do what they doing? They just want to do what the trap stars do.
And what we got to do too is, when we were growing up, we had POW centers, we had the rec centers after school. We don't have that anymore. At least I don't see it. At 36, I don't see it in the neighborhoods anymore. I don't see kids going after school. I'm getting ready to go rather up all my friends, and we getting ready to go play ball, and we getting ready to go play the next block and ball. You don't see kids just going competing in sports as youth anymore, going to the next block. So I think you got to get back to just opening rec centers and just being more adults, being more in these kids' lives. Yeah.
But here's the last kicker too with that. Ask them. That's what I do. Like, out of the programs that I run, like the Thrive program that I run, the first day they come in here, them kids, I ask them, what can we do to help you? Or what do you feel about the gun violence? What do you, because they the ones that's living it. They know it. We see, we have a perception of it, but all you got to do is ask them what they need. That's what the adults kind of have to do in the matter. You got to kind of humble yourself and ask them, like, what do you need, or what could I do to help this situation, or what's the next step? Instead of trying to give them the next step. They ain't trying to hear that.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You kind of, it's all about, it goes back to a balance. You help them, they help you, y'all work together, but we ain't doing that. We just like, okay, we're gonna throw this money here, we're gonna throw this money here, we're gonna do this, we're gonna try to fix it. That ain't fixing nothing. They the ones that's gonna fix it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Right. There are peers that's actually doing the right thing and shining a light on the peers that's doing the right thing instead of shining a light on the ones that just court the body. Because at the end of the day, they get respect for it. They go to jail for the rest of their life, but some young boy looking at it like, yeah, he going to jail when he did, but they was bulls. It's like, come on, bro.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Well, with that being said, I think that just like before you could change anything, it starts with ourselves. You know what I mean? A lot of this, we have to get back to talking to the kids. It was guys that used to pick me up when I was not going to school or doing something I wasn't supposed to, that was being that mentor. And I think that a lot of times when the kids, they're going to reject us at first, or sometimes they might reject it, and we're quick to throw up our hands. Everybody's tired, everybody got a lot. Let's be clear, it's always going to be negativity in the world.
Yeah.
So I feel like we have to do a better job of pointing out the light and shining the light. Because if we cut all these lights off in this room, we can cut on a little flashlight and it's still going to shine, illuminate. So my point is, it is a task. It is an all hands on deck task. It's not just a you, it's me. It's all of us collectively coming together with these companies, taking the kids out of these environments, bringing them to the mental nest, showing them something else that they can do besides being on the court. Like, you could be in sports, but not technically on the court, but still have an impact. You feel me? And I think we got these companies and brands and everybody that's connected to something can do something, can talk to somebody. You know what I mean? It starts there. So I think we start with a conversation and measure and start to really look at the greater scope of it.
Facts. That's all facts.
That being said, thank everybody for taking time out to spend with us today. I thank everybody for joining the conversation. Again, this is Cut to the Chase, Sports Music Podcast. We have a special guest that we want to bring on today to take us into the third and fourth quarter. Musical artist Suzanne Christine.